What is up, everybody? It is Sunday night, and that means it's time for another episode of the Kicking Out Podcast. I'm Paul Zartman, joined along by my co-host for this week, Austin Shepard, the Shep. Austin, what's up?
How we doing, man? You know what? We didn't have our other co-host tonight. He's a little under the weather. Purdue lost today.
Yeah.
We probably should make sure he's doing okay. Have you checked in on him today?
No.
No, me either. Hope you're doing okay, Tanner. Purdue lost against Ohio State of all people.
Go Buckeyes.
Yeah. I mean, IU lost today against Northwestern, but Northwestern already beat Purdue, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah. Steffi beating us to the punch today, saying hello right as we got ready to get started. How's it going? Hope you're having a good Sunday. So, Shep, it wouldn't be a KOP if we didn't start it off with the typical, what are we drinking tonight, Shep?
We got a surprise tonight. I sent you and Tanner a little Instagram post earlier today.
Yes.
Some of the funnest guys I watch on Instagram is called the Drunk Amigos. And these are a bunch of Hispanic guys, and they cook and drink, and it's hilarious. And I've noticed over the last couple of videos, they drink tequila and Coke. Like,
okay,
I would never think to drink tequila and Coke, right?
Yeah.
So, oh, that sounds good. All right, we're gonna try this here a little bit. I mean, this is what
nice
they do.
Little pop there from the cork.
Shit, there it goes. Damn it!
As you drop the cork.
There you go. Yeah, I got it. I don't have Coke, but I don't keep pop in the house. I don't drink pop, but. All right. I cannot wrap my head around this, why this will be good. But these guys drink it like it's lemonade on a hot day.
Majin's got a good question. What kind of tequila?
All right. Don't like harp on me here. It's the only tequila I had. Well, no. Oh, by the way, there is a bottle in Rochester now. The liquor store got it in for me. I should pick it up tomorrow.
Okay. So next Sunday we'll be drinking some Casa Azul.
Should be, yes. It's Reposado. I'm not going to show you the brand because I'm embarrassed.
Okay.
It's Tremata. Guess who owns Tremata?
Yeah.
He's some board member somewhere.
Could be worse. I mean, could be owned by some guy that we don't speak of anymore.
That's true. Yeah. He's too. Never mind. All right, here we go. So we have some tequila and cola. Thanks to the Drunk Amigos. If anybody is on here, follow the Drunk Amigos on Instagram. It is maybe the most entertaining little vignettes you will find. One of my favorites. Drunk Amigos. Here you go.
The look.
That's different. That's not bad.
All right. As he goes for the second drink. The crowd waits in anticipation.
I can see why these guys like that.
All right.
It's not for me.
Yeah.
Way too sweet. Kind of like a Jack and Coke, right?
Okay.
Way too sweet. Not for me, but man.
Yeah. And I will say, this is the best part. This is an AEW podcast. That's what we deal with.
This isn't about drink reviews.
No. We go down occasional rabbit holes and we do talk other wrestling promotions. But I like the fact that both things that you use to mix your drink tonight are from Connecticut.
Pepsi Phil.
Pepsi Phil. Yeah.
The Rock. Yeah.
Yep.
And you know what? I have my opinions on those guys. Well, one of those guys, and I'm sure we'll get to that tonight, right?
Sure. I mean, we're running the show tonight. Tanner left us unsupervised. We could start off by talking about that if we really wanted to.
You know what? I'm going to give this. That's a 7-2.
All right.
Anybody like seriously, I would never ever in my mind ever think to mix cola and tequila together.
Mm-hmm.
But like I said, I've watched these guys' videos on TikTok or not TikTok, Instagram. I'm not a TikTok guy. So what are they called? Reels, right? On Instagram, Reels.
Yeah, I think so.
And again, follow the Drunk Amigos. They're the best. Over 1 million followers. But
yeah, Majin, it could get a little out there since Tanner's not there to reel us back in.
Oh, yeah. Boys, it could get off the rails quick tonight.
It could. So stick around and see what happens.
Okay. Anyways, tequila and cola 7.2. Paul, let's talk a little professional wrestling.
Let's talk a little professional wrestling. Yeah. I'm playing with the brands while you're testing alcohol. I think we need to bring that back. We did there for a while, do Shep's reviews
on the brands.
Yeah.
But then I got like a liquor cabinet full of like two drinking
things you'll never drink again.
Yeah, with a drink out of them, and I'm like, yeah, it sucked. Maybe, but that one, that's not a bad one. Right. I tell you what, next week I've been seeing it on all the social media. Crown came out with Crown Blackberry, and they've been mixing it with lemonade, and they say it's amazing. So maybe next week, maybe we'll have a little drink review there. Maybe we'll switch this into a drink review instead of a liquor review.
Okay, there we go. I can deal with that. All right. Let's talk some professional wrestling here, since that's what we're supposed to do.
Now, man.
Let's kick it off with coverage from Dynamite again this week due to some basketball game or something. I don't know. Some guys in shorts bouncing balls up and down the court or some weird thing like that. There was no Collision. Collision will be back next week, so we've only got 2 shows to review this week, Shep.
So that means we'll wrap this up nice and sweet.
Sure, that's what we'll do.
And I have that shitty All-Star game behind me, just to let everybody know.
Yeah.
So
Shep is an all sports type of guy.
Yeah, you know what? I tell you what, I'm a little disappointed today. Daytona 500 got rained out till tomorrow.
Yeah.
Okay. Big Daytona 500 fan. I think I had 5 DraftKings lineups for that. That rolls over tomorrow. Okay. But I also got to watch the Pete Weber PBA Classic today out of Missouri. So watch a little bowling today. No racing. Now we're watching whatever you think is basketball over my shoulder. That's a whole nother topic with me. I don't think it's basketball. I think it's the farthest thing from basketball. But anyways, you got the All-Star game over my shoulder. And my favorite sport of all sports is me boy, Marty McSwirly's hockey.
I love how you just saw the comments and knew where to go.
I rolled right into that. In fact, I'm still trying to find my autographed Marty McSwirly jersey that I can wear on KOP, and it's going to happen sometime.
Shep, Steffi wants to know if you know what day it is.
It is Sunday Fun Day ×2, because I like to party on Sundays, guys. I used to like to party on Wednesdays, which I still do party on Wednesdays, but Sundays is
not as late.
Yeah, Sundays is a whole nother level. Like it's breakfast beers, mimosas, cooking breakfast type stuff. Yeah, I love Sundays. I work every Saturday, so like to me Sunday, even though I'm married with a couple kids now, I still try to have fun. Like when I didn't have kids, it was ridiculous. So I try to keep it like in line, but I still love to have fun on Sundays. Still love to have cocktails. There's nothing better than a 8:45 a.m. cocktail, looking out your backyard, seeing snowy grass and sun coming up, and you're sitting there having a vodka OJ. There's nothing better.
And don't you and Mama Wayne have brunch on Sundays?
Oh, well, if that's what you want to call it.
Remember, we're not throwing up the explicit yet, Shep.
No, we don't need to do that. Mama Wayne doesn't deserve it. Explicit. Oh, yes. 23, yes.
23 years.
Number 3.
Number 3, Dale Earnhardt Sr.
Yes. Raise hell and praise a little Dale.
Yep. One of the best dudes in racing.
I was watching that race. It was my senior year of high school, 2001, right? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I was watching the race like I do every year. I don't think I've missed a Daytona 500 in a long time. Watched the race, watched the wreck, just normal wreck, and then I knew something was wrong when Darrell Waltrip was in the commentary booth. Michael Waltrip had won that race, which is his brother. He's crying because his brother had won the race. And then all of a sudden, he just says, I hope Dale's okay. And this was a couple minutes after the accident. And I'm like, that's weird for him to say that because normally by now, those guys are crawling out of their cars, getting in the ambulance, getting checked out, ready to go back and have a Budweiser. But it sounded different coming out of Darrell's mouth.
Mm-hmm.
Like he knew something was wrong, and obviously he was correct. So, oh geez, I hope Dale's okay. You're right. Yeah, it was. I can remember it to this day.
Yep.
I was glued to a TV for the next like 4 or 5 hours because that's all we had updates on was Dale Sr. And
oh yeah, they were all over the place.
My dad, my grandpa were huge Dale Sr. fans. Obviously, me being a young kid, I loved Junior at the time. There's another racer called Johnny Benson. I loved Johnny Benson. He was a hell of a racer, and being from Indiana, I love Tony Stewart. But my dad and my grandpa were just diehard Dale fans. So. And he drove the Goodwrench car, which growing up in a Chevrolet family, man, you got to root for the guy that's driving your car. So it was a sad day. But looking at it now, I have friends in the racing business, and I see the safety equipment they wear today, and the only reason they wear that safety equipment is because of Dale Earnhardt Sr.
Yep.
The Hans device, huge. The wraparound a seat, the way they sit in that seat. I mean, it all started because of Dale. So hey, I love it. I see some of the wrecks my friends go through, and it's like, that's rough. Like looked way worse than what Dale went through, and they hop out of the car and walk away. So there we go.
Yeah. All right.
Anyways, is this a wrestling podcast or?
We're getting there. We're getting there. We were answering some questions. We went down some rabbit holes before we got into professional wrestling.
All right.
What better way to kick off Dynamite for you than Jon Moxley versus Dax Harwood?
This match could be the main event of my WrestleMania.
Yeah, this could main event anything. Unfortunately for you, any BCC fans were happy Moxley won this match. Post-match, though, Moxley doesn't let go until Wheeler is in the ring and attacks him. Claudio makes the save and then levels Wheeler with a neutralizer. Definitely setting up a tag match between these guys. You think it's going to happen at Revolution?
Yes, I think it'll happen at Revolution because it'll put the CMLL feud with BCC on the back burner. And I think that'll be pushed more towards Forbidden Door. And it sounds like BCC has already announced they're going to Mexico here.
After Revolution.
So I think that'll push that feud on. So I think we'll get a tag match at Revolution with FTR, and I'm guessing Mox and Claudio, which I'm okay with.
Yeah.
Seeing with the vignettes we've been getting, the backstage promos, which have been great, by the way, from both sides. Moxley and Claudio had a great backstage promo. FTR came out and had one themselves after Dynamite. Love the way they're doing it. So yeah, it'll be a good match at Revolution. I almost think maybe we should have a stipulation on this one.
Okay.
Um, and I don't know why I say that. Maybe because I just want it spiced up a little bit. You know,
All right.
I don't think it needs to be a dog collar match or
Loser leaves AEW for 30
yeah,
days.
yeah, no, I like a TLC might be a good one.
Okay. All
You
right.
know,
Yeah.
just introduces some outside stuff.
Some
Um,
carnage.
yeah, yeah. Cage match. I was thinking about cage match, but I'm on the fence on that one. No pun intended. But
Chain
yeah,
link fence.
yeah, yeah. Actually the four of those guys in a cage match could be brutal.
Yes. I would like to see these guys in an old school cage match, back when it was actual metal bars and not chain link fence.
Well, now hold on. When you're talking the metal bars like the old WWE blue cage,
Yes.
but see, the original cage from the NWA was chain link.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think chain link does more damage than the metal blue bars.
You're
Well,
right.
I
But
guess the metal blue bars doesn't have like the forgiveness, right?
right. Right. I mean, you hit and you just.
I remember the old metal blue bars. That was fun.
Mhm.
WrestleMania 3, King Kong Bundy. Oh man, that
Oh,
was good
yeah.
stuff. That was good stuff.
As long as we don't get whatever match that the Great Khali always pushed, Pujami prison match or whatever it was.
Well, hey, your boy Tanner was there to witness that in person.
Yeah, the pajama match.
Yeah.
Anyway, next, I know what I was going to say. I know you'll probably disagree with me because you really like FTR, but I think FTR and BCC being just Mox and Claudio, neither of these teams need gold around their waist because they're just such big names. It's nice to see them have gold. Don't get me wrong. I love FTR with gold around their waist, but they don't need it to make their names.
They don't, but also whoever wins coming out of Revolution obviously is number one contender.
Oh,
Um,
obviously.
so I think we all know who's coming out of Revolution as the tag team champions. So that just sets up a feud, and that sets up like we want to see FTR in these guys, but we have not seen BCC versus these guys. So
Right.
it could open up a new door. So
It could. It could.
I'm excited for either one.
We go backstage for a setup for a match at Revolution, which could absolutely almost steal the show. I don't think anything's going to steal the show from Sting's final match. But Don Callis says nobody from the Don Callis family was booked, so he's making a match. We will see Konosuke Takeshita versus Will Ospreay.
Keep it in the family, he says.
Yeah. Families fight, and they come out stronger than before.
I was a little taken back by this. I didn't think this would happen, but the more I think about it, the more I'm excited about it.
I was surprised to see it happen just because the way Ospreay talked is he wasn't coming over until closer to June to start really doing any matches. And I could be wrong on my timeline there. I mean, the shirt does say just here to be wrong. So, but I think it'll be a good match. I think these two can definitely bring something to the show that nobody was expecting.
I think they'll steal the show. I think it'll be the best professional wrestling match on the card.
Yeah, I agree. Up next, Wardlow in a squash match against local talent Barrett Brown. I say local; he's just probably an indie guy. I don't know if he was actually from the area or not. Wardlow squashes him, no questions asked. Adam Cole was on commentary. I don't think he really even said much. They showed him twice, and I think that was about all he got.
Yeah, he didn't talk much on commentary at all.
I think the most he said was, "Well, guys, thanks so much for having me."
Yeah. which Adam being more of a talking piece, it kind of shocked me a little bit that he didn't say more, but obviously he was instructed probably not to say more.
Probably. Sets up that mysterious factor for the Undisputed Kingdom that actions speak louder than words. Up next, we've got what we normally would call the Cope Open, but Adam Copeland versus Daniel Garcia. This was a great match until the very end. When Copeland turns into a crossface, sets up for a crossface, Nick Wayne and Killswitch get in and attack both men. Christian then comes down, gets out some chairs. Daddy Magic tries to stop him, but he gets attacked as well for his efforts. The heels then try to attack Garcia with the chair. Copeland makes the save with the chair, only for Mother Wayne to drop him with a low blow. Mother Wayne.
Mama.
He then gets dropped with a Wayne's World and then the Extinction, as Cage then nails him with a concerto. Oh man, I know they know how to do it, but it still makes you twitch with his neck injuries.
It does, but I thought let's throw the shitty finish out of the way.
Yeah,
I thought the match between those two guys was great, and the more Daniel Garcia goes out on his own, the more I like him.
Oh,
and
yeah.
Tonight or Wednesday night, I really enjoyed him.
Yeah, I'm fine if he sticks around with Daddy Magic and Cool Hand Ange, but keep him kind of like it is, where Daddy Magic comes out on commentary. Maybe you have Cool Hand in his corner, but let him just be him. And that's what they're finally doing, and it's been fantastic.
And I thought the two worked really, really well together.
Absolutely.
I thought the match flowed well. Obviously a huge age gap there. Adam Copeland kept up very well with Daniel Garcia and his speed. And then, the ending. The ending sucked, but it made sense.
Yeah, it did, because Christian doesn't want to take on either one of these guys, so you take him out of the picture. And Majin says, Daddy says no. But this setup for that, Christian's afraid of both of these men. He doesn't want to take on either one of them, and that really showed the dominance. And I don't know, Mother Wayne sounds weird to me. I like Mama Wayne better.
Mama Wayne sounds way better, and trust me, it just rolls off the tongue better.
No pun intended there.
No pun intended. Actually, but rolling into Revolution, I think this. Now, speaking of, we talked about stipulations before in another match. This match should truly be a cage match to keep everybody outside, right?
Yes.
So I could really see this being a cage match at Revolution.
Or does it end up a triple threat match? Daniel, Copeland, and Christian.
No, because they played that scenario on the World Championship with Swerve and Hangman. So I don't think he should do it for the TNT title. It literally needs to be a cage match. These two and finally finish the feud. Whatever happens, it finally needs to be over.
Yeah. Majin says Mommy Wayne sounds even better.
I tried to keep this PG, but
Majin, you're going to get us that explicit.
No, sometimes she likes to be called Mommy, and it's okay. I abide.
We won't get into that right now.
No. I don't want to upset her, Sometimes she does listen, by the way.
Yeah, well, thanks, Mama Wayne.
Yes, thanks, Mama Wayne.
Buy some KOP merch and sneak it on to the Dynamite for us.
If we should have some of them leather pants with KOP across the ass. She might wear those. Can we get that arranged?
Tanner.
Get it?
Tanner's the
I think
creative
she's.
guy.
I think she's a size 2. By the way.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh man.
I think she could probably fit into a size 1, but you know.
And she's now officially on the roster.
She is with a
Active roster.
win loss record too. We're gonna see.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if she's ever been trained at all, but
Probably not. But we could probably see something. I'm watching people get
hey,
slammed.
I know
Yeah,
she's.
collision.
I know she's
Collision
1-0 over here.
I was watching the collision commercial behind you and got distracted.
Yes, I noticed. There's been a ton of collision commercials during NBA weekend, which is pretty good, right?
Yeah, especially since the NBA caused us not to have collision this week. Jackasses.
NBA sucks so bad. Such bad basketball.
Grown men wearing shorts playing with balls. And they say wrestling's gay.
Jesus. Yeah, that's that was going hardcore there. But I mean,
the NBA rubs up on each other more than you see in a wrestling match. So just saying.
Okay, I'm not. I don't know what to say to that.
Yeah, I left Shep speechless. Yes.
Yeah. Paul started talking about balls, and I lost control.
Do you want me to bring it back and talk about Mama Wayne again?
No.
Okay.
She's in. I'm out in the barn. She's across the house. She's got everything ready and warm for me.
So let's talk about Samoa Joe then, shall we? As Samoa Joe comes out, says when he became champion, he brought back the ranking system, so only the best came up against him. Everything was going well until last week when Swerve Strickland and Adam Page battled to a draw. He says instead of telling them that they don't deserve to be in the ring with him, he's now in a three-way match and a crime has been committed against him. He guarantees he will hurt one, if not both of them, and says they will both limp out. Bad typing in here. He stands there as world champion, and there's nothing anyone can do about it. Swerve Strickland then comes out and says originally this wasn't personal, but the more Joe talks, it seems it is becoming that. He's on his way to becoming one of the greatest of all time, as nobody outworks him. He tells Joe to put some respect on his resume. The two go back and forth a little bit more as Adam Page comes out and says if it was up to Page, it would be a singles match between him and Joe. Page says Strickland doesn't deserve 1 second of his time, and he didn't deserve another 5 minutes. Joe then breaks it up and tells both men they won't pin each other at his expense. As far as he's concerned, he's whipping both of their asses.
I thought this promo was perfect for Joe.
Oh, yeah.
Joe was awesome during this promo.
Absolutely.
Set his authority in there. Made him really look like a world champion.
Yeah, something we really haven't seen a whole lot of here lately.
He's been kind of quiet, you know.
Yes.
But yeah, came out there, sounded like a world champion, looked like a world champion. I wasn't really behind him beating MJF back in the day. Now I know MJF had injuries and it needed to transition off of him because he couldn't work. I get that.
And his contract was up.
And his contract's up, and he's out in free agency land right now.
Mm-hmm.
But I thought maybe there was a lot of other guys in the company that could fill this role. But I'm gonna tip my hat to Samoa Joe so far. He's fulfilled the role. He looks like a world champion. He's acting like a world champion, and he talked like a world champion. So enjoyed this segment very, very much.
Yes. It was definitely one of the better segments since Joe became champion. Toni Storm's latest movie looks into her tattoo and the friendship she had with Deonna Purrazzo. She helped her sign a contract, nurtured her on her bosom of brilliance. It's then shown that she's adding to her matching tattoo. Purrazzo is then shown backstage and says Storm talks too much, but she will break her arm, bitch.
really, I can't wait for this match.
Oh man, they're doing this just right for the women's division, which we've seen a lack of storytelling in that. This has just elevated the women's division storytelling.
Yeah, and you don't have a lot. Well, we haven't had a lot of women in AEW able to talk on the mic like Tony Storm has.
Right. Right.
And it's almost like the MJF effect. They're more entertaining on the mic. We see them less in the ring because we didn't see MJF in the ring for all those times, but yet he was on the mic all the time, and it was satisfying. Like we got our fill of him. We didn't need to see him wrestle. And the same thing with Tony Storm. As long as she's there talking, we're happy. So, really, really like it.
Majin tapping into the certain group of people out there saying Tony really gave her feet away on live TV like that. She knows she could make more money withholding, right? Not touching that one. Sorry, Majin. Shep, anything?
So did the Cubs win today? I'm a big Chicago Cub fan, and pitchers and catchers reported.
Yes, Monday.
They did. Pitchers and catchers. I love it. I love baseball, and I would definitely talk about baseball anytime a subject like that comes up. So,
okay,
if anybody listens in the future, since pitchers and catchers have reported in Major League Baseball, you ask a question like that and me not giving an answer, if I just say, hey, did the Cubs win today? That's my way of changing the subject.
Majin says he's not one of them, but he knows what they're about.
Well, I'm glad you're not one of them.
Yes.
I mean,
Tony's weird faces she made when the tattoo was happening popped Majin. He couldn't stop laughing.
She's awesome.
She's a good storyteller.
She's a great storyteller. And I feel like they give her the freedom to say whatever the heck she wants. And she says it. And you can tell it's just, I feel like it's from the hip, and it's not scripted.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
It's real, and I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it.
And I mean, giving her free reign gave us one of the most memorable catchphrases in recent history.
Yeah.
Chin up, tits out, watch out for the shoe.
Chin up, tits out, watch out for the shoe. Like, tits up. I got man boobs, but that's all I got.
Yeah. Top Flight and the Young Bucks.
Hey, the Cubs win today, Paul.
Top Flight, the Young Bucks. Of course, the EVPs came out on top here, as we knew they were going to. It was a good match, though. I always enjoy watching Top Flight. Luckily, they're both still healthy. I think this is the longest they've been in the company at the same time without an injury. So let's stay on that. But post-match, the Young Bucks tell Tony Schiavone they're undefeated this year, which makes them the top team. Matthew says after being in a team like Top Flight, it is safe to assume they're number one contenders. Matthew says he listens to Schiavone talk trash about them, and that might be a breach of contract, and it's unprofessional. Nicholas finds him, and he then asks if he's okay with that, and he pushes Schiavone. Cheap heat.
Love it.
Matthew apologizes, and they help him up, but T is hitting the EVP trigger until Darby makes the save. This promo, even before I get into it, was one of my best promos of the night, in my opinion. Alan says the original AEW mission statement was to change the world. He begged them for a job, and they saw nothing in him, but he had to watch their shit friends get hired instead. Fortunately, there was an EVP around at that time, and he doesn't mean Kenny Omega, who had the brains to bring him in. He doesn't think the Young Bucks understand what they've gotten themselves into. The crowd went crazy off of that one.
Cody.
Yes.
Awesome. One of the best promos I've seen from Darby.
Mm-hmm.
One, I love that he said, you started the company, but you hired all your shit friends from California. Okay.
Brandon calls out Cutler by name.
Well, Cutler was on the first Dynamite.
Yeah. And Darby wasn't.
And Darby wasn't. Now let's let that sink in, people.
Majin says, yeah, Cody had the brains to book himself into a corner.
Yeah.
No, we don't talk about that one. He gave us Darby, though, and if Cody wouldn't have given us Darby, we wouldn't be seeing Darby and Sting versus the Young Bucks at Evolution in Sting's final match.
Think of all the dives we've seen from Darby. That's worth it.
Yes.
I mean, we all talk about how he shouldn't do it, but we all love him on the other end.
And you know who's another Cody guy, don't you?
Ricky Starks?
Well, him too.
Okay.
MJF.
He's a Cody guy?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I guess I didn't know that one that much.
Yep. Because surprisingly, with all the things MJF talked about, he never mentioned it. You'd think he would, but he chose not to.
You know what? I could see just, and nothing against the Young Bucks, okay? I could see of all the pool of talent when they're sitting there at the start trying to put AEW together, I could see Cody saying, hey, look at this guy.
Mm-hmm.
Compared to the guys that the Bucks were saying, hey, you need to look at them. Complete opposites. And respectfully, it's okay. Like I'm not harping on the Bucks. But yeah, I could definitely give, and maybe because I'm a Cody mark, whatever. I would love to give Cody credit for that. So
yeah. And what was I going to say? Oh, yeah. The Young Bucks, you talk about the people they brought in. They gave us your favorite referee.
Fucking pants. Put the pants on. Get some pair of pants that fit. You know what? You're going to be in front of 80,000 people in Wembley Stadium, and you have a pair of pants that fit 7 sizes too big when you're a 160-pound Skeletor with no hair. Never mind. Anyways, next.
Majin says, I used to like Darby. Then he began beating almost everyone, including bigger talent that he should otherwise lose to. And then I had enough.
Okay, you know what? That's one thing Mosh and I always agree on. I don't like the small versus big, you know, like Darby versus Warlord. I don't see how that match works. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And Darby's been in a couple of those matches, and
it's the Sting effect. I'm just saying.
It is, but just in wrestling in period, like let's go back in the day, and I remember going to Fort Wayne Coliseum for a house show, and it was Rey Mysterio Jr. He was the champion going against Mark Henry. I just don't see how that match worked.
And he beat him.
Oh yeah, he beat him because it was a house show and Mysterio was the champion. So
yeah,
I just don't see how those matches work. I know we get it every once in a while, and I'm just whatever. Not my favorite.
Darby versus Brody King. I mean, I get the coffin match is his match, but in what world does he win that?
Yeah.
AEW's world.
Yep.
Unfortunately. Yep. All right. Soul Women's match of the night. Before we get to the Soul Women match of the night, the Bang Bang Scissor Gang is shown backstage with Renee, and Jay White says they'd yet to test their cohesiveness inside the ring. They suggest the idea of a 12-man match on Rampage. I like how Billy Gunn went to start it, and then Austin Gunn cut him off and said, how about a 12-man match? And then Billy just said it again anyway, because he's like, seriously?
I like the chemistry between these guys.
Absolutely. It is fantastic. It's going to be, whether we get a 6-man tag with these guys taking each other on or whatever, it's going to be worth watching because they work well in the ring together on the same side. So just imagine on opposite sides.
Yeah, and I love the chemistry that the Guns, Billy's kids, have already. I think they're super entertaining. They're super athletic. They have the look, and they can go in the ring. So um, I feel at some point in time, their dad's going to put them over.
Oh, yeah.
So far we have not seen that. Their dad's made them work for everything, which I love. I love that story. On a different side, didn't go with them, made them do it on their own. I love it. I love it.
Mm-hmm.
But at some point in time, their dad is his stage in the career, at his age, he's going to say, "Okay, I'm gonna give him the rub," which 100% they deserve right now. So,
Yep.
So think they're super talented. Love the way they work with Jay White as well.
Mm-hmm.
And I tell you what, I miss Juice Robinson.
Oh, I do too.
Oh man, I think he could be the cherry on top of these guys.
Mm-hmm.
But right now we just have the cardboard version of him. Juice box.
Juice box is good, but we want juice. All right. Up next, we get to that Soul Women's match of the night. Willow Nightingale with Stokely Hathaway taking on Sky Blue. Blue delivers code blue, but Stokely distracts the official. Nightingale delivers the power bomb and with no referee distraction wins the match.
It was an okay match.
Thoughts on Stokely all of a sudden?
I like Stokely. At first I didn't, but I kind of like Prince Nana. I didn't like these valets, okay? But they do a couple things and they're good. Back with Stokely Hathaway going, "You raggedy bitch."
Mm-hmm.
You know what? I've liked him ever since then. So,
yep. Main event time. Texas Death Match. Orange Cassidy versus Matt Taven.
Such a random. I get to put these guys in a match. So random to put the Texas Death Match on them.
Yeah, that part was the part that kind of got me, but I guess it set up well for everything we saw during the event because we wouldn't have seen that without those or seen those without that.
True. It just random though because we're gonna get Orange and Roderick Strong at Revolution for the belt.
Mm-hmm.
So it's weird to see one of his stablemates go for the belt against Orange in a stipulation match.
I don't think it was for the belt though.
It wasn't for the belt? I thought it was.
No, I think it was just Roddy's attempt to make him not 100%.
Okay. My mistake. I thought it was for the belt.
I could be wrong. I mean, I'm just here to be wrong. But we got a gift from your favorite person, Chucky T.
Chucky T.
The Kentucky gentleman left a box of chocolates for Orange Cassidy that ended up being thumbtacks. I think my favorite moment in this match is when Trent started coming down and he's got the box of flowers and he just rips off the lid and just pulls out the pipe. I thought that was good.
That was good.
Of course, Orange Cassidy gets the win here.
He does. What a bump Taven going through the table.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was great. Great bump.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Great part of the match, actually.
Yes. Majin back on Sky Blue says, I love Sky Blue, but she has to change her moves. The code blue 9 times out of 10 looks like crap.
He's not wrong.
He's not
wrong.
No. So overall thoughts on Dynamite before we get into Rampage.
Solid show. It beat Collision this week.
It did. It did. I can tell you one thing: neither you or I are picking Collision this week.
That's true. That's true. Be Collision, which
Yeah.
normally I'm a collider, right? I love my Collision.
Yeah.
I think the last couple weeks I picked Collision, but no, this
You and
for
I both.
yeah. But obviously not having Collision. It was a good show, solid show. A lot of good wrestling on this show. A lot of matchups that never thought you and I as wrestling fans would see in 2024, and we did. So,
Yep.
you know, very, very well done.
Yes. And now, of course, we'll talk Rampage. Rampage.
Okay.
Hey, I
you
bet
felt
you and I
you
picked Dynamite this week as the show of the week.
you felt the same way, obviously.
Look, I've often said this. I don't read the dirt sheets. I don't watch the spoilers. I watch it, let it happen. I did not watch Rampage this week. I actually looked at the spoilers, read everything on it,
Oh
chose
boy.
not to rot my brain for an hour this week. And I only say that because we saw Sammy Guevara versus Jeff Hardy in a no disqualification match, and Sammy Guevara should not be allowed anywhere near the Hardy Boys as he knocked Jeff out. Wow.
Okay, so I'm going to stick up for Sammy on this one. If we go back to the spear on Matt Hardy back in the day,
Yeah.
didn't he spear him off of a forklift through a table or something like that? He was
something
raised.
like that.
Yeah.
It was off of a ladder or off of something.
And he overshot it. They landed through the table, but they overshot the table, so his head hit the ground. Okay.
Yes.
That one was because of the spot. Whatever. Okay, they hit him too hard.
Table was too close.
Table too close. They probably shouldn't have done it, but whatever.
Right.
The spot where Sammy did his Spanish fly, is that what you call it?
Spanish fly, yeah.
Okay, whatever. And landed on the knees because Jeff put his knees up, but he landed sideways.
Shooting star press.
But didn't he call it the Spanish fly?
I think Spanish fly is on the mat.
Okay, I could be wrong. I probably am wrong.
We could both be wrong.
I'm wrong a lot. I'm surprised there's not enough people that fact check me on this damn podcast. So I appreciate you not doing it. It makes me feel better about myself. But no, when he landed sideways where his knee hit Jeff in the face. I don't know if it's any one of their faults on this one.
Right.
I think this is a wrestling accident. Okay. I don't think you could prevent it the way they did it. You know, we talked about NASCAR earlier. I could never think I would ever marry NASCAR and professional wrestling together. But there's many a wrecks in NASCAR when they say it's a racing incident. Like, look, we're racing for the same position and we wrecked. It happens.
Mm-hmm.
We're wrestling here, and it was not either one of their faults. It was a wrestling incident. So the Spanish fly is when he's up top and he flips him over the side. I get, yeah. I get it. Yeah.
Majin says Sammy has legitimately said plenty of times Jeff is his idol too. Why the hell would he injure him? I agree.
Yeah. It was a wrestling incident. Neither side could have prevented it. It happened. Shit happens. Luckily, he did not get a concussion. I think he got a broken nose out of the deal.
Yeah.
And we'll move on.
Yep.
And you know what? Maybe we saw a lot of social media posts afterwards where Matt came down to the ring and helped his brother, and he flipped off Sammy, right?
They both did, yeah.
Yeah. Maybe that just plays into this heel turn that we want the Hardys to do. Okay?
Yeah. I mean, they're becoming heels, and Sammy's technically a face right now, I think. So
I would say Sammy's a face.
It makes sense.
He might be an annoying face, but he's a face.
Well, I know. After the match, Powerhouse Hobbs sneaks up on Guevara, plants him with a spine buster as Don Callis follows behind. Hobbs then delivers a slam. We then head backstage to Renee, Brian Cage, and Prince Nana. Cage addresses Hook and his upcoming trios match on this Wednesday's Dynamite. Back from the break, we head over backstage to Blackpool Combat Club, who have a message for FTR ahead of their Dynamite matches. And we're still backstage as we head over to Renee Paquette in the Outcast, where Ruby Soho confronts Saraya about their issues as of late. She tells Saraya she thought she was trying to do what she thought was right, but she needs some space to think things over. And finally, we go back ringside as Dustin Rhodes and the Von Erichs make their way down to the ring for a squash match. Now, I know this was a squash match, but originally Tanner and I were talking about the name of the episode for tonight. And I like what we went with, but I really was leaning towards wrestling truly does have more than one royal family, because the Von Erichs and Dustin teaming up is just something I never thought I'd see.
Hadn't happened in 30 years.
Yeah.
So
I don't even think Tanner was alive last time it happened.
Probably not. Von Erichs have a little momentum behind them because of the movie that came out, 2 months ago? The Iron Claw.
Yeah.
It is on Prime now if anybody wants to watch it. I watched it over the last 2 days. Great film.
MJF's
film.
in that film.
He is for about 30 seconds with an awful wig. I mean, it is the worst fucking wig you've ever seen in your life.
That's what I've heard.
But it's definitely MJF. You can see it in his face. Anyways, it's a great movie. It's a tragic movie. I mean, the way they have documented everybody's death, it's pretty sad, but it tells you the true stories of the Von Erichs, and then it shows you the true story of Kevin, who is obviously still alive and still with us and has his boys wrestling. Kevin should have been the star of the family and was overlooked. I feel like that was the biggest takeaway from the movie. He was the oldest. He was the most fit. He looked like a pro wrestler. And then he had two younger brothers that came up and took the spotlight from him, and he took a back seat. And once they were gone, and one was passed away, one moved to the WWE, he took over the promotion, and it struggled. You know, they had nobody in the stands, and they documented all that. And it was truly heartbreaking, actually, because, you know, that's all this guy ever did. He dedicated his life to the family business. The other guys, you know, Kerry Von Erich was supposed to be an Olympic athlete.
Mm-hmm.
And then the Olympics didn't go over to the Soviet Union that year. So Kerry came home and decided to be a wrestler. Well, yep. Kevin was already wrestling and already making, you know, noise in the business in the territory days, the NWA days. So yeah, it's a great story. If anybody in this podcast ever, you know, listens to us jackalopes, take one bit of advice, go out on Prime, pay the $9.99 or whatever it is, and watch this movie. It's a great movie about the Von Erichs.
Yeah, and for the longest time, you know, we talk about it's been 30 years since you saw Rhodes and Von Erichs together do anything. There for a while, the Von Erichs was kind of thought of as a cursed family because of all the deaths.
Well, I mean, Kevin, in the movie, his first boy when he went up to, well, I don't think they do it nowadays, but the way they did this in the movie, um, they were checking out of the hospital and they threw the birth certificate and he said, let's change that last name to Atkinson, I think is their real last name.
Yeah.
And he made sure his son was not a Von Erich because of what has obviously happened to all the Von Erichs. So they made that pretty clear in the movie.
Yep. Yep. All right. So of course, Dustin and the Von Erichs get the quick submission. Dustin went for the pin while the Von Erichs had the Iron Claw locked in on the other two opponents. We then head backstage again to Renee Paquette, Tony Storm, Mariah May, and Luther. Storm uses May to show Deonna Purrazzo that what she'll do to her at AEW Revolution. Queen Aminata then makes her way down to the ring as Anna Jay follows for a women's match. Queen Aminata picks up the victory. After the match, Aminata and Jay shake hands once again before hugging, and then the news breaks later that with this victory, Queen Aminata is now officially All Elite.
Very, very well deserved.
Oh, yeah, she's been, I mean, she may not be getting a whole lot of victories, but she's been a workhorse.
I've seen her in person twice at Warrior Wrestling, up close and personal. She's a very, very athletic lady. And I see her. Actually, at one match, I saw her in Sky Blue in South Bend, Indiana, which was a great match. Great match. And I think she could bring a lot to the women's division. I really do.
Yeah.
I think they're trying to replace girls, like Jade Cargill, very, very athletic. But I'm going to be quite honest. I think Queen Aminata is a better wrestler than Jade Cargill.
Oh,
Okay?
Absolutely.
Completely different look, but I think the Queen can bring it. And I think she, given some time, could really, really add depth to this women roster.
Yeah. I mean, when we saw Jade, she reminded me a lot of Goldberg because she had and I don't mean build or anything like that, but she had moves that she did.
Well, she probably gave a concussion here or there too.
Probably. But, that limited move set always puts me in the mind frame of Goldberg.
Yeah.
That's
Goldberg's just trash. He's trash.
Hey, we can't dog on Tanner's favorite wrestler like that when he's not here.
Oh, hell. If Tanner was here, I'd talk about Hayes. Never mind. I mean, he literally took one of the greatest wrestlers of all time. He literally took him out with one move. Gave him a cushion and had no remorse. Piece of shit. Whatever.
Yeah. Majin wants to know if Anna Jay can stop taking a ton of losses. She's improved plenty, yet is just losing so damn much.
You know what? I agree with you. I think she's come a long, long way.
Oh yeah.
And she's almost to the top where I think she's going to get a little bit of a push. Okay. And maybe get a little win here or there. But again, there's a ton of girls in AEW right now. There's a ton of women that are ready for that push. There's some women getting ready to come back. Talking about Britt Baker, and that women's division's gonna get a bottleneck at some point in time. So,
yeah, and I don't know. There's all this talk around Dark Order stuff again, and Dark Order needing that change and going darker. I'm wondering if eventually they're going to pull Anna Jay back into the Dark Order.
They could use her.
Yeah,
absolutely, they could use her.
Could set up House of Black versus Dark Order completely all the way around in a mixed tag match.
Yeah,
I'm just saying. And Majin says, I mean, Mercedes is coming in soon too. So
Yeah, again, she's coming in. Again, it's going to be a bottleneck. It really is.
Mhm.
I mean, can you imagine we're going to get hopefully Mercedes and Tony Storm? We're going to get Mercedes and Dina Perazzo. I mean, yeah.
Mhm.
Serena Deeb's back.
Mercedes, Mercedes, Serena Deeb, Mercedes, Britt Baker,
Willow Nightingale, Athena,
Statlander.
yeah. It's getting loaded. It's getting more bottlenecked than the men's side right now.
Yeah.
And the reason we say that is because they get one match or two matches a week. We've been getting one match on Dynamite, two matches on Collision. So
and then one on Rampage too. Don't forget.
Yeah,
even though we don't watch it.
Yeah, I'll take 2 and 2. Give me 2 matches on Dynamite, 2 matches on Collision with this type of roster. Oh, all day long.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. All right. Back from break, we head backstage again. This should just be called AEW Backstage.
You know what, though? When you say that, Renee Paquette is so damn good back there.
She is.
She does a damn good job. Like, one of the best backstage interviews we got.
All right. I'm going to read Majin's comment here, and then I'm going to get your favorite logo ready before we get to this backstage segment.
Oh, boy.
And Majin says, which is why they should split the roster. Collision can support its own and shows that.
We're not fucking Connecticut. Let's mix both rosters. Let's show them on both sides. Who cares? I don't want a split roster. It doesn't make sense to me. I'm sorry, Majin.
Does not.
It does not. I want to see everybody on. Listen. You're getting paid. Okay, let's take out our fandom, right?
Yeah.
You're the Bucks. You're FTR. You're John Moxley. You're the BCC. Whatever. You're getting paid pretty damn good fucking money to work a Wednesday night and a Saturday night. You're working 2 fucking nights a week. Just go to work. Who cares? You can go home in between.
Yeah.
That's why they made airplanes. Get your ass on an airplane, go home, spend 2 days at home, come back and work a day, go spend a day at home, go back and work a day. It's so much easier now. Don't split the rosters. That is so gimmicky from Stamford, Connecticut. If you're going to have 2 shows and you're going to build this type of roster, let them boys work. That's how we still sell stories. God damn it, I can't even talk. Sorry.
Majin says yes, but when you have what's happening now, where the same people are featured, you have a big enough roster for both to showcase everyone.
Yeah, but we are showcasing everyone right now. We just had Dax Harwood on Dynamite.
Yeah.
Okay. We have BCC on Dynamite, but they showed up on Collision a week ago. Look,
and Rampage from time to time.
And you can marry him. You can. You know what? You have. Let's see. We have 5 hours of television a week, right?
Yeah,
5 hours.
Yeah.
You can make all this mush. You really can. You can make it all. You can make it all work. Don't give me, because the next thing you're gonna say, Majin, is, oh, we need a world champion over here. We need a world champion over here. And this guy's gonna finish his story with this belt, and this guy's gonna. No, look, stop it.
Majin says these are the same guys, though. There's plenty who aren't on the shows. And to this, I will say this, Majin. All right. I'm not a big fan of splitting the roster. Now, we're AEW fans. We're not dogging on WWE by any means when I make this statement. But, Shep, you mentioned there are 5 hours of AEW television per week. If we knock out NXT 2.0 or whatever it's called these days, WWE.
It's NXT 6.9.
Sure.
Don't laugh. Don't laugh.
I'm trying not to, damn it. If you go Raw and SmackDown, you have 5 hours of television.
Yeah.
And you still see the same 5 guys on each show every single week.
It's pretty close. You're close.
You showcase more in AEW with 5 hours of television than you do in WWE with 5 hours of television, and WWE has that split roster.
Yeah, we don't need a split roster. There's
And Majin says no, we don't need 2 world titles, 2 women's titles, etc.
I agree.
Have your belts go back and forth, but split the roster is kind of what he's saying.
And I'm going to go back to the Darby promo for earlier tonight. They signed a lot of independent wrestlers right off the bat because the Bucks says, "Oh, you got to get these like Serpentico." Oh God, the fucking librarian Peter Luger,
Peter Avalon.
There's guys like that are signed to a contract that we do not need to see. Okay,
you're right.
Nick Nemeth, we don't need to see him right now.
Not until his brother joins.
Yeah, there's guys they signed, and I get why they signed them. Okay, they were indie stars working their ass off. They deserved a break, and Tony Khan was able to give them that break because the Bucks said, "Hey, look, I've traveled with these guys; they're good guys." They vouched for him. I completely get that.
Mm-hmm.
But now with all of the stars that have been let go from other promotions that have been signed to AEW, and I'm talking WWE.
Oops, my bad, Majin.
I'm talking Ryan. I said Nick Nemeth. I said it should have been Ryan. My bad. My bad. That's my fault.
I went right along with you.
That was my bad. My bad. New Japan. I think that you need to take these lower indie guys. If you want to use them for dark matches, that's great. Okay. Mm-hmm. Squash matches, that's great. But at some point in time, you're going to have to cut them loose. We don't have AEW Dark and AEW Elevation anymore on YouTube, right?
Right, which is where a lot of these indie guys were going, and that's why they were signed. But the shows fell off, and they're still under contract.
They're still under contract, and that's why we don't need 2 brands. We need to weed those guys out. You're bringing in Will Ospreay, okay? Obviously, Tony Khan made sure Will Ospreay came home this weekend because he flew his jet to England and flew his ass home with Orange Cassidy and Darby. So
Darby,
yeah. So no. We're not splitting that damn roster. If we split that roster, you guys are going to have to open the show with the explicit logo because I might.
You won't see our faces anymore. It'll just be the entire show.
Yes. That's a really good logo, by the way.
By the way, you can pick up your copy of the explicit T-shirt by heading to kickingOutShop.com.
That'd be a hell of a bumper sticker too, wouldn't it?
It would.
That'd be
Tanner. Make it a bumper sticker.
Make it a bumper sticker. That'd be a great bumper sticker.
I might put it on mine.
I put it on my golf cart.
Yeah. You go through vehicles too much to really put anything on them.
Unfortunately, I don't really own the vehicles that I drive, so I can't really put stickers and stuff on there because I get in trouble.
Yeah.
But I do own a golf cart. Yeah, leave it up. Yeah, my fat ass owns a golf cart. I'll put it on the back of that. Wow.
Sorry,
that was
distracted. I was gonna say something else about your golf cart, and then I saw Majin's. Buy the merch. Yeah.
You fucking
explicit marks.
Nah, you fucking marks.
You're going too fast, Shep. I can't get to the logo fast enough.
That's all right.
Anyway. So yeah. Mm-hmm. Climbing out of rabbit holes. Is your golf cart legal?
Not yet. I'm still waiting for the gay ass flag we have to put up. Anyways, I shouldn't say that. That's bad.
Anyway,
sorry guys.
AEW backstage. Back from the break, we head backstage to see Angelo Parker chat with Ruby Soho. Parker hands Soho a Valentine's Day gift, tells her that he's felt things for her and that he never has before. He says he thought that slipping her a note was the only way he could talk to her, and Soho cuts him off. She asks him if he wants to have drinks next week. Parker agrees. Main event time. Main event time. The Bang Bang Scissor Gang versus Jay Lethal, Jeff Jarrett, Satnam Singh, and the Dark Order. With Sanjay Dutt and Karen Jarrett, I should say.
Yeah. So we're really going for a Dark Order heel, then, right? They're trying to change.
They're trying to bring back. I think the way they're looking at it is it's been long enough since Mr. Brody Lee's passing that now we need to no longer keep Dark Order face. That wasn't really working. Let's get him back to where Brody was taking it to be heel.
So, like back in the BT days when Brody would throw the paper at the guys and,
and ask who the fuck is, oh God, now I can't think of his name.
Hey, you put the logo up there. I didn't say it this time. There you go.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's who the fuck is Griff Garrison?
That was great. Those great BTs back in the day.
Oh, I miss those BTEs.
Those were good ones.
They were. But, yeah. Bang Bang Scissor Gang picks up the victory here. Doesn't surprise me.
No. Still waiting on some way that they're going to turn on each other and unify these titles.
Yes.
Because you literally
they don't turn and they just have a 6-man match for both belts to unify them.
It's really weird.
And then the turn happens after.
Yeah, but it's really weird to see 6 guys come down for a fight and all 6 of them have belts.
The true action.
It's kind of weird.
It's only 2 championships between the 6 of them. But
I know, but it's still just weird. You got 6 guys coming down. And again, Jay Lethal could be used so much better than the way he's used.
Oh, God, yes.
So much better. Jeff Jarrett, to me, still impresses me at his age. I still think he could make a singles run at some point here in the next year or so. And then the rest of them, when I say the rest of them, I'm talking Satnam Singh. I'm not talking the Dark Order, Alex Silver, and whatever the other guy's name is, Johnny Hungry.
Johnny Hungry.
I like Johnny Hungry. I think Satnam Singh's shit. He whatever. Go, just leave. Just leave. Go be commentary for fucking Russia. I don't know whatever country you're from.
India.
Okay. So I mean, I shouldn't say that.
The comments expressed by the Shep are not those of KOP. Sent the cease to desist letter to Austin Shepard.
Send it to me. I don't give a shit. I'll post them right behind. I'll frame the son of a bitches. Satnam Singh, if she fucking go cook some curry or something. I don't know. Anyways, let's not talk about him anymore. He sucks.
Yeah. Anyway, so Shep, we're done talking about AEW for the week.
AEW.
It only took us an hour and 14 minutes.
Short and sweet, baby.
2 shows.
Short and sweet.
Glad we didn't have 3. We'd probably break the record for the length, and Tanner would be going, "What the hell were you guys talking about?"
Yeah.
But with that being said, wrestler of the week.
I'm going to go with this guy with a losing effort. Matt Taven.
Okay.
I think Matt Taven was, I think I've said this before. I've enjoyed Matt Taven back in his ROH days when I got to watch him. But I want to see more of Matt Taven. I want to see more of him in this Undisputed Kingdom or whatever they call him. Yeah, I thought the match was great with him. I think he can be, his little run when he was the ROH World Champion was great.
Mm-hmm.
He's got the look. He's got the cockiness. He's got the swagger. He's got the fuck you vibe. I love it. And sorry you missed it. You missed. But yeah, my rest of the week is Matt Taven.
All right. And I can get behind it.
You thought I was going to go with old Dax Harwood, didn't you?
I thought about it.
Yeah.
And then you said losing effort, and I went, all right. But I can back you on that because Matt Taven did some great work in that match and throwing himself through a table. Man,
that was a hell of a dive. I love it.
It was. And he did not throw arms up or anything when he went through that table like some of them do. So that was awesome. Majin's going to go with Samoa Joe. And
great promo by Samoa Joe.
I'm going to follow kind of in those footsteps of promo guys, and I'm going to go Darby Allin with probably the best promo he's ever cut in his time in AEW.
That was a no holds barred promo.
Darby with the training from Sting, you don't talk about those guys once they're out of the company, once they've left the territory, they're dead to you. You don't bring them up. So all that training, he kind of said, look, Sting, I love you, but we're bringing up Cody. I give him props. He did it in a very just glanced over way. Didn't really acknowledge. I mean, he let the fans kind of chant Cody for a couple minutes, but he didn't really acknowledge that they were catching on. I really enjoyed it.
The best part was you hired all your California friends. I thought that was great.
Brandon Cutler.
Yeah.
Between the two, I'd take Darby hands down.
True.
And he could have thrown out there that Cutler had 2 contracts.
He did, yeah. He did have 2 contracts, did he?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Again.
Yeah.
Let's be honest. The reason Cutler has a job is because of the Bucks.
Oh, that's the only reason he has a job. Otherwise, he'd still be on the indies.
And it's because obviously his wife, Cutler's wife, makes all the merch or the the gear for the Bucks, and she's obviously really good at it. And they just brought him along. So
they did hire SCU as part of those Cali friends. But
you know what though? I like the
SCU. SCU was talented. Cutler was not.
Yeah, Cutler's not. Serpentico's not.
SCU was teaming together in TNA, and
SCU was good.
Yeah, and Frankie's over in TNA again, raising hell.
Yeah.
So
where's Scorpio Sky at?
Backstage somewhere.
Is he still AEW?
Yeah. He signed a contract extension and then just kind of
taking the money like the Good Brothers.
Mm-hmm.
Good for him.
Yeah. All right. So you teased it that it was a 6.9. So what is your rating for this week, Shep?
Oh, my rating's a little higher than 6.9. I said that just to get you a little smirk out of you.
It worked.
It worked, and I loved it. But we're going to be professionals.
Majin said Scorpio's been over on ROH more.
Okay.
So, all right. Good for him. He deserves a good run. Just wish it was televised.
Yes. Yeah, I think he's a super talented individual. We're going Dynamite this week. We're going 7.3.
Ooh, okay. Well, I am the high guy this week because there's only 2 of us. He throws in real quick. Scorpio Sky and Ethan Page have apparently brought Men of the Year back in ROH.
Okay. So. I haven't watched a lot of ROH of late. I need to, but I just haven't.
Yeah. You and me both. All right. So Dynamite, obviously. Neither one of us were picking AEW backstage. And I'm gonna go with a 7-6 for this week for Dynamite. I enjoyed it. It was solid. It kept me on the edge of my seat, which is something I don't say a whole lot of here lately. Some good promos, some good segments. I loved it.
Yeah.
So, all right, Shep. What do you want to talk about?
So, what do you want to talk about?
Yeah, I guess I can play that, can't I?
Yeah.
Uh-huh. If I can find it.
Find it. Come on, Paul.
So, what do you guys want to talk about?
What do you want to talk about, Shep? Because I didn't watch this week.
You didn't watch it?
I did not.
Oh, man. So
I'm a slacker. I know.
No, it's okay. It's okay. Let's go to SmackDown. Let's just skip Monday Night Raw. Go right to SmackDown. The Rock shows up in his Versace shirts. Well, it's cut into a vest, right? And all of a sudden, we have a heel Rock, which we all kind of predicted from the press conference in Vegas. And he literally gets on the mic and calls out the fans and says, "You guys screwed up WrestleMania 40, the biggest main event of all time. You guys screwed it up, and now all of a sudden we got Roman and Cody." He put it back on the fans.
Yep.
I think I called this out last week. Like, look, I think they finally realized they stepped on their dick and they have to go a different way. And they have. And they have gone a different way, full throttle. And Rock has been completely open about it and says, "Look, you know what? It was going to be me and Roman, but you guys are a bunch of whiny crybabies. Cody crybabies. It's the term, and now you're going to get Cody and Roman, and you know what? I'm just here to be the tribal chief or whatever." So,
couple things that I did see, because again, I watched more on Twitter than I did anything. My favorite meme out of SmackDown was what happened to Ricky Starks.
Okay.
The whole reference to him being the Pebble really came through this week with the way that The Rock looked.
True.
And the other thing is, I guess when The Rock was on his little promo rant and said, "I'm going to make sure you lose," I guess he pointed and looked right at Roman.
Yeah,
that's what X or Twitter or whatever it's called was saying.
Yeah, I saw a bunch of people on Twitter saying, like, when he said you're going to lose, like he had his hand pointed towards Roman. But since we have a heel turn Rock, I don't see Rock costing Roman the belt.
Yeah.
Okay. We have a heel Rock because the fans had a negative reaction to him coming in and taking Cody's spot.
Yeah.
And then him going on multiple media sources, one being the Pat McAfee show, and said, "You Cody crybabies, you bunch of bitches." Basically, that's what he said.
Yep.
So, I mean, it could be the biggest swerve we ever seen if he decides to turn on Roman at the end, but no, he's definitely setting up a tag match night one, which I think we talked about that last week. And then maybe, WrestleMania 41, which is going to be in Vegas. They haven't announced it yet, but it's been pretty much announced. I mean, could be one of the biggest WrestleManias of all time. in Las Vegas, Allegiant Stadium, Rock versus Roman. Holy cow. That's going to sell a lot of seats. But I think if they do this tag match night one, Seth's damn near, he's on the borderline of being hurt with his knee.
Yeah.
I still don't think you have him night one. I still think, and I would love, I never have the patience to call in to bust it open. Okay. I don't have the patience. I mean, I know those people wait online,
hours
to get a phone call. I would love to hear those guys' opinion when you have Rock Roman versus Cody Dustin. And the reason I say that is because I think if anybody in this wrestling world, Tony Khan would be open to let Dustin go back. He's not going to go back as Goldust. He's not going to go back as Goldust. He's going to go back as the natural Dustin Rhodes.
Mm-hmm.
And you can spin that way because of Roman and Rock being family, blah, 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 blah. And Seth Rollins does not need to be involved in this.
No.
And I know a lot of people said, hey, Stone Cold Steve Austin should be the partner. Hear that glass drop.
Yeah.
But Stone Cold, and I love him to death, don't get me wrong, I'm a huge Stone Cold fan. But he cannot go like Dustin can go. So, I mean, can you imagine, maybe it's just me, the emotion, the pop would be like, look, I got my own brother to come fight you two brothers. It could work so well, and literally main event night one of WrestleMania without a belt on the line, that could go over, and that could steal the show. It really could.
Absolutely. And here's the thing: maybe you have Cody say, "Look, I found a partner. We'll see you at Mania," and then you just leave it there. Night one, you two against me, my partner. You have The Rock and Roman come down to the ring. You have Cody come down to the ring. The ref's waiting. The music's not hitting. As he goes to ring the bell, you hear Goldust theme. So you think we're getting Goldust and Cody, and then Dustin comes out as the natural Dustin Rhodes, just so that the pop's there from the music.
Because you think it's Goldust, which we all know who Goldust is.
Right. Yeah. We all know Dustin Rhodes, but you don't know his music if you're not watching AEW. So you cue up the Goldust music, or call me crazy, Dusty's music.
Ooh, I like that better. Yeah. I don't think we'll get that, but
I don't either. But I mean, if we're booking this, we know what we're doing.
Yeah, I got the pencil behind my ear. I think that works way better than whatever the hell they're going to do.
Oh, yeah.
So,
yeah. And, if we are going to have The Rock turn already, which Majin even says he's teased a turn already, it would work because Cody said, and this could all go back to, we didn't step on our dicks. We fucked with you the whole time. Because he said, I'm coming for everything you have, just not at WrestleMania. So he takes the belt. Okay, he's still the tribal chief. The Rock helps him take the belt. Now, okay, he's still the tribal chief, but now he's a little more confused. Then you go with that backstage segment you've talked about numerous times where, The Rock's like, look, I came out there to help you, but you just couldn't even do this. I helped Cody because you're a disgrace to the family. Yeah. And I'm coming for the head of the table.
No, I like that. I like that way better.
So if we do get just a one-on-one Cody Roman with The Rock ringside, him turning at the very end of the match, or maybe not at all during the match, Cody beats him clean, And then The Rock goes in and says, you obviously couldn't do this without help. I wouldn't have needed anybody's help to beat Cody. The only way you've won is with help. You're a disgrace to the family.
Yeah.
I mean, it could work.
100% work. And I think we'll still see that, especially if we get a tag match on night one, and then we get Rock or Cody Roman on night two. If Cody goes over, I think you have some type of interaction with the Rock and Roman of disgracing the family, and you won't see Rock until SummerSlam. He'll make an appearance. Then you won't see Rock till SummerSlam or Survivor Series. He'll make an appearance. You won't see Rock until Royal Rumble. He'll make an appearance, and that'll set up WrestleMania 41 in Vegas.
Yep. And when he does these, it needs to be against the other members of the bloodline. So when he shows up at SummerSlam, it's against Jay or Jimmy. Jimmy's the one still in the bloodline.
Yep. Then you got
and then
Solo.
It's against Solo, and then it's against Roman, and then it's finally him saying, "You, me, one-on-one, head of the table."
Yeah. I mean, we've had over a year build up for Cody finishing the story. Why couldn't we have over a year build up of
Rock
who's gonna be the head of the table?
Exactly.
And if they do it this way, I will hats off, congratulate them. I will cheers them for hellacious storytelling in the WWE. So
Paul Levesque, book it.
If he's still there.
Yeah. Well.
No.
Well. He got in front of the camera and said all decisions go through me. So, you know.
I saw a meme, Twitter, X, whatever you call this shit now. The first talent signee not ran through Paul Levesque just because I'm a board member was Jacob Fatu.
Ooh.
Jacob Fatu is a free agent at MLW, and he is a cousin to The Rock, right?
Yeah. I think he's the fourth Uso brother.
Okay. Yeah. So he's a cousin to The Rock, brothers to the Uso, obviously cousin to Roman. And he's just left MLW, had a couple GCW appearances, but could be a huge signing for WWE. And would obviously fit in right into their storyline with this whole bloodline stuff. So, I see him showing up sometime soon. Maybe WrestleMania, maybe Elimination Chamber. I don't know.
Yeah. The only thing that worries me about Fatu, and I think it was Jacob, and there might be another Fatu out there who flaked on several indie shows after collecting money from the bookers because he wanted paid in advance and then never showed up.
I haven't heard that, but you get to see that more than me, Paul. So,
well, yeah, I'm in the indies.
Are you an indie god?
No,
you and Cardona.
Look, all right. Rip Ryerson Jr. needs some other guys that he's managing. If Matt Cardona is watching this and he wants some good representation by a gentleman named Rip Ryerson Jr., make it so.
There you go, Cardona. Get your head out of your ass.
We got a manager for you.
Yep.
He'll make you look like $1 million every time.
Yeah, because you look like a piece of shit most of the time.
Exactly.
Just joking, Cardona. You're an indie god, but you still need a you still need a mouthpiece like Rich Ryerson, whatever your name is.
Rip Ryerson Jr.
Yeah, you need a mouthpiece like him. So
yeah.
There you go.
Let's make it happen.
There you go. Hey, you're coming Indianapolis soon, right?
Who?
At the
What?
win, what in
What?
Cardona headlining?
Oh yeah, Squared Circle Expo.
Yeah, that's soon, right?
Yeah, like next month, end of the month,
There you go.
Easter weekend.
There you go. Even better.
Yep. Yep.
The
And
old
while
the,
we're
old- the old Wyndham by the airport. I've spent a
Mhm.
lot of time in that hotel, and it has nothing to do with professional wrestling. But I've spent a lot of time in that hotel. It's a shit bomb. Just saying.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Majin says Chelsea wants him back in WWE soon. Yeah, well,
Of course she does. I don't think you. I don't think
one
he will.
hand, shit in the other.
Yeah, I don't think he will. He is. He is.
He's made a much bigger name for himself. He's doing better now
Yes.
than he ever did.
Yeah, and if he ever went back to Connecticut, he would go back as Matt Cardona. He would not go back as Zack Ryder. He didn't want to do that.
He'd have to.
Yeah.
I
No.
mean,
No way.
there'd be a pop if all of a sudden you were watching and you heard woo, woo, woo.
I mean, yeah, I would pop for that too.
But I think what you do is you have that portion play and then switch to the Cardona stuff.
Yeah. And if you ever have him back as the indie god, I think you have him back as a Rumble, and he comes out to the Indiana Jones theme with the hat on. I mean, that's the only way you can bring him back. So,
Yep.
all right.
Majin says he'd go back for his wife.
I would
Morrison
too.
Did.
Dude, have you watched any of that Morrison stuff with Dalton Castle?
No.
It's hilarious. Look at that stuff on ROH, on their social media. I mean, Dalton Castle is fucking $1 million. He is so entertaining in the shit he does. Yeah, well, he's worth an explicit. And then Taya Valkyrie with he's Johnny TV now. Yeah, awesome. Big Dalton Castle fan. I like him a lot.
All right. Anything else you want to touch on this week, Shep?
I don't know. I think we're good. I don't think we need to
we're
go. I don't know. Do you think we need to go on a rant?
We can go on a rant if you want to.
No, I think we're good. I'm trying to be nice nowadays. I'm a nice guy. Tanner's not here. We don't need to get him all fired with Purdue losing.
Goldberg.
God, he sucks. So bad. Sucks.
All right. Okay. Here's a Shep. You can only have one of these two guys. You have to pick one. You can't say no.
Okay.
Goldberg or Ryback?
Ryback. Ryback can work. He can work.
He's just a little crazy.
He could work. I mean, his thoughts nowadays are completely on the rails. But he could have a 10, 15, 20-minute match where Goldberg couldn't go over 6-8 minutes. 8 minutes was being generous, right? I'm not a big fan of Ryback. I think like the stuff he said after he left on his podcast and all that stuff, I think he's nuts. But I mean, he's a better wrestler than Goldberg.
You heard it here first, folks.
Yes, Tanner, he's a better wrestler than Goldberg. Goldberg sucks. He sucks at life. He sucks. Well, I shouldn't say that. He sucks at professional wrestling. So,
and remember, when people tease him on the golf course, he just chucks them in the water.
Yeah, that was he can't play golf.
And then laughs about it.
He sucks at golf too. I'll tell you what. Listen, Bill Goldberg, if you're listening, I'll play you $1,000 a hole. Okay? I'll play you $1,000 a hole. You suck at wrestling. You suck being a human because you hurt Bret Hart and hurt my heart. Hurt my heart. So if you want to play golf because you play golf in some fancy whatever, I'll play you $1,000 a hole right now. And I'll even have a couple Tito's before and after I take your fucking money. Cheers.
All right. Well, on that bombshell, be sure to follow the Kicking Out podcast on all social media. Going off already. Be sure to follow the Kicking Out podcast on all social media at Kicking Out Pod. Be sure to check out kickingoutshop.com. Buy some KOP merch. Support a great podcast and look great doing so. You know, I'll leave Majin's little mark up there for you because Majin's a mark and he supports KOP, so you should be like Majin. Be sure to listen to the Kicking Out podcast wherever it is you listen to your podcast. And if that happens to be Apple Podcasts, leave us that 5-star review. Why, Shep? Because we are 5-star KOP. And be sure to follow the guy who's not here this week, your KOP predictions champion, Tanner Lee, at TannerLee92. Follow Austin Shepard at the Shep27. And be sure to follow myself at Paul Zartman 921. And with that, for Austin Shepard, I'm Paul Zartman. Join us again next week as we kick out yet another podcast.